being replicated anywhere else right now.
I had a bit of education in permaculture in my schooling, but it was not the same. There was no emotional connection, there was no community connection, and the inner workings of permaculture were not discussed with that. Because it was college course, it was very like textbook, learn about all the patterns and everything else, but not the actual human aspect of it. So it was great to finally take this course after about 4 years of wanting to.
One of the highlights about studying the permaculture design course with Chantry and Lorena at the Living Center was getting to meet a bunch of other people who were like-minded, being able to come out to this beautiful, incredible land and experience planting and get to witness what the change of seasons did to this landscape, to which I'm also native. So that was a real highlight, getting to watch the transition through the seasons over the course of the year. Yeah.
For me, the highlights of the permaculture program would be just, I think I'd start with the inspiration, just talk about how inspiring this place is and how inspiring the people are, and the program, how I learned a lot of new things, but I also was inspired to implement the things I already knew and integrate those things together. So lots of new ideas, and we went to visit some places, and we had some people come here that had were demonstrating some really inspiring things.
Yeah, the designing is, for me, something I'm passionate about because I'm a builder by trade, so it's something I enjoy doing. But really, I guess the greatest highlight in everything was learning more about the plants and the real connection that was made between the members of the class and with Chantry and Lorena. Yeah.
Well, I've always been interested in how we treat the earth and had a desire to walk more lightly on the earth. And when my daughter came into my life, that importance of that was just magnified.
At the beginning of the program, everybody, absolutely everybody noted that they felt like they were doing these actions on their own. And now that the program has ended, as far as the course goes, I don't think it'll ever end per se, but people have really come together and worked together and learned how to work together and now become friends, and I think that's an important part.
I've been a gardener here and there, kind of off and on all my life, but I learned here, I'd say, like a different paradigm of gardening, where plants are integrated and it's a model for making gardening a lot easier in some ways without a high tillage. And
what I found so surprising was just the openness and all the positive energy and the love that everyone in our group was able to bring here. But the fact that Chantry and Lorena were able to facilitate that, and that they made that a very strong part of their foundation in this course.
What touched me most deeply was the coming together of the people in the program.
I really learned to deepen a practice of a personal nature, working on inner permaculture, so applying the 12 principles not only to what's happening in the ground, but also to the way that I'm choosing to interact within community, which is a really important precursor to the actual building and work that needs to be done of a more practical nature in terms of rebuilding communities, restructuring landscapes, and taking us forward into a healthier, brighter future. Yeah.
In this program, so much was touched upon. There's the design and the gardening and the plant species, forest gardening, the design process itself, the permaculture principles, but there's also the elements of people connecting. We did often meditation and movement work and real turning the eye inward to look in on our dreams and our personal goals, and what I found well up in me is things I not necessarily didn't realize were there, but had forgotten were there. So it was nice to have that memory of some of my passions from my younger days sparked, and now it makes me feel like I can go forward with things that I hadn't considered for a couple of decades.
Chantry invited us to choose a tree, and this would be our tree. So we did. We sort of wandered around intuitively, and everybody found a tree that they felt happy with. And around each tree is what is known as a polyculture, where there's many different plants that support each other. So I found my tree, and we were invited to name the tree and put our name on it, and so there was a kind of bonding thing, which was not what I was expecting at all, but it was a pretty profound experience for me.
I would recommend this program to, anyone that's curious about design, anyone that cares about the environment and cares about their community, anybody that just likes to get dirty and really reconnect with the earth.
I think this course could really be offered to almost anyone. And even someone who may be resistant to wanting to learn about this kind of thing, if you really immerse someone into it, they would probably open up to seeing what the point of all of it is eventually. And I think this kind of thing could heal anyone. But yeah, definitely for someone that feels like they want to know something about permaculture, they want to learn what it's about, and they feel trapped maybe in our city life or industrial society and want to find another way.
Anyone who's interested in looking at how to do a little bit of restructuring at this moment in history, in terms of architecture, it could be in terms of gardening, planting, but also planning and the way we structure our communities.
People who are interested in building community would benefit, because that is something that's part of the permaculture world. People who are interested in spiritual things. It covers a whole gamut of things. So anybody who's interested in making a difference, in leaving the world a better place than they found it, could benefit from a course like this. And this course, I think in particular, because it integrates things that are not always part of a traditional permaculture course.